July 29th, 2025. Let's get straight to it. Another trading day. Let's get it. I still got to do my pre-market checklist, but we'll do that shit later before the market actually opens. So, same shit, different day. What do we have? We have a fair value gap right here. That price reacted off to push us up. So we bought those highs, right? Right. Change this to green. We had this liquidity sweep. We had this liquidity sweep. Okay, let's just vibe here, okay? Please, let me just, there we go. We had this liquidity sweep. We had this liquidity sweep. Now we're up here, right? Now we have previous week high, previous week low. Previous week high already got swept. Previous week low. Okay, cool. So what do we see? Reaction, sweep. All right, daily. What do we see on the daily? All right, so what do we have? We have a range. We have a daily range, right? Down to around here, just because we swept out this high. We closed inside on Monday. So what can we anticipate? We can probably anticipate that we're probably going to come down to here. This would be a liquidity point for us. This would be a target, right? Just because we closed within the range. Pretty strong closure inside. Now we just have to see what the lower time frames are doing. We have previous week low that we can target. You just kind of go from there. Okay. So let's go to the wait. I'm recording, right? Gotta make sure. Sometimes I be thinking I started recording and I didn't. Previous week low. Okay. So the H6 again closed within. We are making a support right here because this is an order block right here. We have not closed below this gap. We did a little bit, but we do got a gap right up here. Okay. I can see what we could do. Right, I can see what we can do. We do got a 6-hour gap up here, which I can mark out. Right, we do got a range that we're playing in on the 6-hour right here. So I mean, so there's two options. If we're actually bearish, right, 6-hour, a lot of people don't play within, but we could come up to this gap, which you got to keep in mind. And then the H4 is probably gonna have something to play within as well. Again, we're bullish, but based off of yesterday's closure, we could probably look for some sells today. Again, all right, H6. What do we, I mean? Fuck, what am I saying? Okay. H4. We have a range here that we're playing in within the H4, so we're probably going to come up here. There's a mini gap right here on the H4, and there is a gap up here as well. There's two gaps that we could play in. Price can come up to either or. Okay, Marley, figure this out. Figure this out. Okay, all right, so cool. Then we have two gaps right above. We're playing within this range on the H4. So let me actually type in here. Matter of fact, let me actually do it with long line so it moves with it. I know exactly where we're at. So we have boom. Make this a black line. We'll do H4 range high, H4 range low. Okay, so we want to see, if we're looking for sales, I want to see this high get taken and then us get our move down to then target these lows. So this could be our first target, Friday's 10 a.m. low. So we'll mark that out as lick. And then we do have gaps right below that we could target as well. We have two of these gaps. So yeah, I'm probably gonna end up looking for sales. We just want to see price come up, which we do have jolts at 10 a.m. If price can come up and then give us our move down, that could be cute. I'm gonna anticipate lower pricing just until we grab some liquidity to the downside, tapping into like a higher time frame for value gap, which would be a daily one, which we already tapped into. Probably like a H6 or H4 for a value gap that we'd be looking at. All right, now on the hourly, what are we doing? Hourly, we're just consolidating. This is just a fat ass consolidation, really. I mean, not really. I think we're gonna come up higher to start, and then we're gonna make our move down. So let's mark out our session liquidity. What do we have here? Okay, right to the top. So we have London highs and London lows. That's nice. 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. Okay, so yeah, Asia just stay. Yeah, we've been playing within this H4 range. So I mean, if we're able to come up to the H4 range high, give us a sweep. There is equal highs right here. Give us a sweep with some type of liquidity, and then we see like a nice, CISD breaker block. Just something clean on the lower time frames, and we can take our sells. Again, we are in a we've been looking for buys, but these sells look clean. So I think sells are gonna come in today again, and I think we're gonna sell off just until price reaches a daily point where there's liquidity. So it'd be down here. Weekly, we can grab the previous week low. Be all the way down here. I wouldn't even be surprised. What do we have tomorrow for news? GDP, advanced GDP, and we have FOMC tomorrow. So that's very likely that we could just do that. Tomorrow's gonna have to be a very careful day. And let me mark out midnight open. So if we could trade above midnight open and catch something, that'll actually be perfect. So yeah, once the market opens up in 7 minutes, I will come back. I'm gonna go brush my teeth. Peace. Locked right back in. We got about 11 seconds until market opens. I'm gonna do like a 3-minute video, or to go to record for like 3 minutes just in case I can see what happens during market open. Market is open now, so let's see what happens. It's exactly what we want. We want to push up. So once any of these liquidity points get taken, then wait, did we sweep out? Did we sweep that shit out? I didn't even realize. Okay. Bet that in. All right, we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna let this rock out, and then we'll go from there. So once I see what I want to see, I'll come back. Or once the market provides something for me, I come back. Peace. Okay, so I have a little idea here of what I want to do, right? Okay, if we're able to get a closure here, like below the range, this range low, I'm really not going to be too worried about these two fair value gaps up here. I'm just going to worry about us targeting this 10 a.m. low from Friday, right? And what do I see? I've seen this setup. We literally saw yesterday, 30-minute order block. That just depends on when we close lower, below this range. 30-minute order block right here, right? Where's the 50? This is the 930 range high. If the 15 ends up, if this ends up closing within there, then I am okay with setting a limit here at 45.015 and putting my stops right above this candle. If this ends up closing below this range high, this is where I would want to get in on the next 4-hour candle. And I'll set the limit during news before news if I have to, because we already reacted off this gap. We ended up leaving this inside candle, which we expanded lower from. So if we're able to just come up, retrace up to here, that's beautiful in my opinion. So that's what I'm gonna be looking for today. If we get a closure below the range low, if we don't get a closure below the range low, then range high is probably gonna be where price wants to go. And if I see buying action, then we get in for buys. If I don't see anything clean for buys, then we wait for sales. Peace. Okay, so I have an idea here. Okay, previous H4 candle. We made another range inside of this range, came down and tested the bottom of this range again. So then we swept out this 2 a.m. range low, and then if you go down to the 15, now we have the 930 range. So if we get a CISD right here on the 1 minute, I could take this to the 930 high, or I can just go break even on the 930 high. But we would just want to see a nice closure. I'll set my limit here, give this like 50 ticks, and then we just go break even right here. And then if not, we just go and we let that bitch run all the way up to 100 ticks. So that's gonna be what I'm gonna be looking for if we get that CISD. But if we don't get anything clean, then we really don't want to take any buys. We just want to wait for the sales to come in when they make sense. And for it to make sense, it would be probably like up here. We're just gonna have to wait and be patient to see what the next 15-minute candle does. Again, this is Jolts, and Jolts just came out. I believe it came out weaker for USD. Yeah. And then CB consumer confidence came out stronger. So we just have to see what the market does and just react to it. If we get a nice push up, then realistically we can take our buys. Don't, then it is what it is. Gotta wait and see what price wants to do. Price wants to give us buys, we'll take the buys, just depending on how we close above the CISD. If it's a strong closure and I can set a limit, cool. And then we just target the 930 high. So let's see what happens. Once I get into a trade, I will come back. Peace. All right, I took some buys here. Let's see what happens. I can explain after why I took them. We got a CISD. We'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. We end up inversing this. I'll just get out. Came down straight to this gap. Let's see what happens. Put my trust in them and they broke my heart. That's gotta be easy because life is harder. Yeah. Let's see if this holds true. If it doesn't and this gets inverse, we'll chill for the rest of the day. Just take my loss. Then that means we're going to just keep going down from here. But the reason why I took buys is because it made a little bit of sense for me. 15-minute at a gap right here that we got to pay attention to. The 15-minute we ended up sweeping out the 930 low, tapping it again, closing bullish. On the 1 minute, we ended up getting a 1 minute CISD closure above, which is what I was waiting for. Although I was looking for sales, we couldn't target 930 high as a break-even point. Right here would be a break-even point. And then if it wants to keep running up, our full target's going to be 100 ticks, of course, but we want to see what happens within this gap here. We immediately just spawn lower. So if we're able to maintain this, right, cool. If we're not, oh well. We just want to see price come up, and we can limit our risk once we take out, because there is a fair value gap right here. Once we take out this high, if we want, we can low-key limit our risk right here. 20 ticks, I believe it would be. 21 ticks. We'll do 25 just to be safe, because then this would be what we'd be looking for. So let's see what happens. And once we take out this high right here, then I'll look to move my stops right to here just to limit my risk for the day. 15's looking pretty clean. 30's looking. We just want to target that range high. Did we take out? No, we didn't. Once we take out this, I want to know. Add alert. All right, let's move it up. Following our rules. So we moved once we took out this high, we wanted, that's exactly what I wanted. So I don't want price to come down below this fair value gap. If it does, then we're probably just going to continue lower. I'm going to let this run. To 45-100. We did just tap into a 15-minute gap. So if we react here off of it, that would make sense. That would make a lot of sense. Again, if we run through this gap, we don't want to be in this trade. We do not want to be in this trade if we run through this gap. It's a 1 minute gap anyways. This is 15-minute gap here. In my opinion, I should have probably anticipated that it probably was going to hold because we are bearish today.
Stop filled.
Stop filled, okay.
Stop filled.
We don't want to be in this trade at all, so that's fine. Back-to-back losing days, alrighty. We tried it. It is what it is. We limited our risk. Full risk was 50 here. Probably would have got taken out either way. So we tried it out. We limited our risk for the day. Nothing else we could do. We're just down for the week. Down 1%. It is what it is. So yeah, that is the trading day for the 29th of July. This was a nice reaction off this gap, which I was expecting. Maybe I moved my stops too early again, and that's probably just a mental block thing that I'm having right now, moving my stops early. So yeah, today was a losing trade again. We managed our risk. That's all I care about. So we just move on. Come back tomorrow with the same plan. Today was a little bit of a quicker day. It's 10:23 a.m. I just thought that if gap held here, I didn't think if we inversed it, which we did, price might want to come up. Honestly, I may have just been too early and moving my stops again. Just something I probably just need to fix. But yeah, 25 ticks. I did it because I knew we had that gap there and I didn't want to risk anything. So, and this gap tapping into it gave us a CISD. So if we come down from here, cool. I'm not mad at it. I took the trade for a reason. I was looking for sells at first, which is another mistake I made, which I probably should have just waited. Probably forced a trade. Probably did force a trade today. So yeah, I'm not mad at it. Shit happens. See what happens later on. I'll look at it over the market breakdown. If we continue lower, cool. If we don't, cool. I just wanted this 930 high to get taken. It run to that H4 range high. Maybe I was a little bit early, but I can't take another trade. I'm gonna leave this just like this, just to see if it hits. If it doesn't hit, cool. If it hits, even better. I know that my trade, this will show me if I should just trust my stops and not move them so early, because I did move my stops pretty early after tapping into that gap. So yeah, that's the trading day for today. Catch y'all on the flip side. It is what it is. All right, bet. Let's do it, bro. Long ass day. It's 5:47 p.m. And I'm making this outro now. So let's actually go and do let's actually go and make this market breakdown real quick. We'll make it quick and simple. Came into the day, I was bearish, ended up not following my bias, which ended up biting me in my ass. So what did we notice? This week opened up higher, taking out previous week high. Cool. What's going to be the next target? Probably previous week low. What did I mark up? Same shit I always do. We got a fair value gap here, liquidity sweep here, liquidity sweep here. We took out previous day high. All right. Daily. What do we see? Previous day swept out this Friday high, closed inside of the Friday range, and we closed what did we do? So we had Wednesday, which was previous week high. We didn't close above it. We closed within the range. So now the target's going to be this Wednesday low. That's going to be our candle range to finish, which would be a couple, like a 60 point more drop, right? What do we see on the daily? That's what I marked out, right? Did I mark anything out? I marked out previous day low as liquidity, and then we had this low as well as liquidity, right? So cool. Go to the 6 hour. What do we see? Same thing. We closed within this here. We closed above it, then we closed right back within. We're coming down to fill in these gaps that were left from the H4 and the H6, right? So what do we see on the H6? I noticed that we had a fair value gap here. We had a fair value gap here. We were playing within this range. I was anticipating that we were probably going to come up to this H4 range high and then come down and then make the move. That's probably where I fucked up at, because this candle right here wicked off of the H4 range low, didn't close below it, so I thought we were going to come up, even though my bias was bearish, which I got cooked for. All right, so then we have the 930 range high. That's what I marked out. I was anticipating a CISD from a 15-minute area. We wicked at the H4 low. Cool. Go to the 15. So here's where I took my trade. I saw this 930 range. We didn't close below it, which I've seen before, where we don't close below it, and we usually just come, have this type of candle, and we probably just expand up to the 930 range high, coming into a fair value gap higher. Then our move comes down, but that wasn't the case today. Today, we closed within this range. We got our 1 minute CISD, which was right here. We got a 1 minute CISD. After coming down to these lows, we came up 1 minute CISD. I got in right here at 1020. And then I told myself, if we inverse this candle, we're probably going to get cooked. We got inversed. What happened is, right, we had this fair value gap here. I got in on the CISD. We came up and we came up high, right? The M15, where is it? The M15 had a mini fair value gap right here that held, in turn led us to get baked. So at 1020 when I entered, we came, or did I got in at, yeah, I got in at around 1020. So I got in 1021, I got in. Price closed below the fair value gap and we just fell. Now what did I do? Once we tapped into that fair value gap, I moved my stops 20 to 25 ticks. I moved it to like right here, just so I could limit my risk for the day, because my full risk on the trade was 300 and this ended up being 150. So we managed our risk, and that was the trade for the day. Got absolutely cooked. Back-to-back losing days. It is what it is. So now we move on. We go on to the next day. So I do got to edit this video, and I'm making the outro now. All glory to God. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Subscribe, comment, like. Let me leave y'all with something before I leave. For the traders, let's do this, bro. Stick to your rules for 1 month. If you can't do that, you don't want it bad enough. You can't have an edge without having rules. So for my day traders out there, bro, stick to your plan for 1 month. Win, lose, break even. Just keep doing the same thing daily, 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 and daily, bro. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. July 29, 2025, man. We out. Peace. Y'all have a good day, night, wherever you're at.